Hey, welcome back to Wook Plus on Weekend Wook, joined by Sleepy Time Kev and T. God damn, Kev. What did I tell you like an hour ago, man?
Don't take a nap.
What's
Kev,
going on?
you know when Kev posts a picture of a hazy IPA on Twitter, the first thing I do is message it. I'm like, you better not take a nap, motherfucker. And then 15 minutes before the show, we're like, hey, where's Kev?
I got Mick Coffee.
Ah, Mick Coffee will help. Oh, that's Mr. Coffee.
Oh, Mr. Coffee, that's what it
That
said.
comes with the drip machine, man.
Well, we got an espresso machine. Espresso. It's fun to say and get you jacked up.
Yeah, man. All right, so we're gonna have a little bit of a chill night tonight. Benz might be joining us a little bit later. She got tied up. But it is bracket season, and I know some people are kind of maybe getting a little burnt out from it, but I thought it'd be fun for us. I never get to play this, right? Because I always put it on. So I thought it'd be cool if maybe we went through one of the sections or a couple of the rounds and did some voting and discussed it. Also,
Wait, you don't vote in it? Why don't you vote in it?
well, because you can't vote on
It looks improper.
the account that puts the polls out. And if I vote on with the Wook Plus account, Kev's also on that account, and he'll know how I voted, and he'll give me shit and he'll out me.
Right.
So.
But don't you have any burners?
Fuck no. Why would I have a burner?
Can't get enough Twitter?
We have the now you say it, we have the Panel and Frames account. I gotta remember how to log into that. I'm gonna use that as a burner and throw out free votes.
I had the Wook News account, but I don't remember.
News account?
Yeah.
I would say though, I would think you'd still want to vote at least in a couple of them. I mean, one of you guys should vote from the Wook Plus account. So
He already knows who's gonna win.
registering
It's rigged.
votes.
I am.
There was a close one though. We're jumping ahead, but there was a close one. What, that just finished or was about to with Gata Jabu and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can we get into that, please?
Yeah. You
I
want to
didn't
look
mean to,
back?
I didn't mean to
on
jump
that.
ahead. Sorry, that was a terrible segue, but there was a close one that you could have actually burner votes would have counted on and swung.
Well, here, I can share Twitter. Just do me a favor. If I share any like sensitive information by accident, be like, yo, look, take the screen off. Because, we're live. But
Heads up production.
Llama, have your finger on the trigger.
So first thing we'll do is maybe we'll just run through these real quick and see any interesting ones. By the way, all right, we're gonna get in the AMA because somebody asked me about leaves, but I fucking love leaves. But yeah, it got done dirty here.
Yeah, it did.
What was that round?
It was
It was
recent.
the current one.
It just happened. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Since the new ones just came out.
Oh,
There it
Iculus
is.
versus Gata Jabu. Yeah.
That's so stupid that Iculus won that.
Really?
Oh, Gata Jabu is a song. Iculus is them being funny and cool, but it isn't a fucking song.
You better read the fucking book, Kev. If you've ever caught an Iculus live, and
I
an
did with you
RM
last year at Dick's.
Well, you were only half alive at that point, but I've caught 3 Iculi, I think 3 or 4, and every one of them has been astounding and just like life changing. It's amazing. All right, here's the thing though. Everybody's shitting on Iculus, and there was another one earlier. I forget which one, but it was another Gamehenge, and it's like everybody just, oh, we want Gamehenge. They have to do Gamehenge set, and then they're like, oh, but we don't want to vote for this song because it's not as good. It's like you either hold it at high esteem or you don't. Oh yeah, the man who stepped in the ass today got obliterated by Fee. By Fee, can you believe that shit?
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah,
I will say I do appreciate not seeing the voted check marks of who you voted for on your page. That is cool that you can't vote for that reason, so you just see the results.
right. You don't know how I would go. I mean,
I
you
did
listen
not
to me
know
for
that.
2 minutes, talk about it. You'll know how I feel about them.
Right, exactly. But it's nice not seeing the check mark there.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So tonight we're gonna do an Ask Me Anything or Ask Us Anything about the bracket. I
It
have
was
a.
ask you anything.
All right.
You
Well,
didn't say ask us anything.
all right. Ask me anything. So I
That
have.
would be an AU.
I pulled some from Twitter, so we could go through those later. But I just want to say that if you want to ask us something, throw it in the chat. And to make sure it doesn't get lost, you can hit us with the super chat. Just saying, but we'll try to keep track of that. Llama, keep an eye out for that. All right, but before we do that, I want to ask you guys if you've heard that Page Trey January sample they put out, Dancing in Midair.
Do we have to?
Dude, it is laughably bad.
I'm not a Bon Iver fan, so
I don't even know what that means, but it do you want to explain that or
it sounds
Bon
like the
Iver,
album Bon
come on.
Iver did. Bon Iver like put himself in his cabin for 6 months and he came out with something that sounds like that.
Llama, is this some boomer shit? Do you know what they're talking about?
It's more millennial shit.
It's a
like new
millennial
shit.
one. Yeah, Justin Vernon is Bon Iver. And they have that song Skinny Love. You probably know that. Like you were in college. It was like an acoustic romantic song.
You'd know it if you heard it.
Yeah.
You almost got laid to it once.
But
Okay. Well, anyway,
at least Kev pronounced it semi-properly.
isn't it Bon Iver? I don't know.
Bon Iver. You okay, Kev? You're choking it up down there.
Sorry. Anyway,
Dude.
it's very you know what? If Trey didn't open his mouth, it might be okay to put on like what it was that Wyndham Hell? What was that record label that put like Spyra Gyra out in the 80s? It would have fit on there as just an atmospheric background thing, but Trey had to go sing on it.
The lyrics are weird. The vocal is uncomfortable. Like they mixed it and they panned it so it feels like Trey is whispering like really close, like the back of your ear. Like they panned it real far. And so like you want to cringe a little bit and like put your shoulder up, like get off my neck, Trey. And then like the drums are like decent but really sloppy. Like it's like a musician playing drums, not a drummer, so it doesn't have like the touch. You know what I mean? It feels like kind of amateurish. It's just
Who was the
weird.
drummer?
It was Trey. It's fucking Trey. And like this is all right. I don't want to be all shit on Paige and Trey all night, but
You could tune in tomorrow for that. Or
Yeah.
Friday.
we are. This is a perfect example of what happens when nobody will say no to somebody, right? Like Trey can do whatever he wants, and not an engineer, not a producer, not his daughter. Nobody was like, "Hey, Trey, maybe this is a bad idea," and he got like the Putin syndrome where nobody was advising him, and then he put this out.
Or maybe they did and he just didn't care.
He's been doing this he's been doing it since Ghost of the Forest. At some point he was like, fuck it, I don't need anybody helping me do anything. I am Trey Anastasio. I bring love and light to all.
Hey, maybe they did it together with their garage band on their Mac and just put it together and threw it out there. You don't know. Maybe
It has Bruce Grogan. I
No,
think
that's
it's
what
the guy
that
who
sounds like,
produced
though.
it.
Like they were putting together a single to try to like get picked up at a bar or something, like or at like a coffee shop. Like you would never in a million years, if you played that to a stranger, be like, "Hey, these guys, they sell out MSG every year." They'd be like, "No, fuck you, they do not."
No accounting for taste.
I kind of want to play a second of it, but I don't think want to
No.
get popped.
Let me ask you, do you think we haven't heard the rest of the album yet, but
We're gonna
and we
react
know
to
that
it
Trey
on
and-
Friday.
we know that Trey and Tom wrote a couple songs at that songwriting session. Are we going to get a bunch of new tunes this summer? Is it going to be another every night there's going to be a tune off January kind of thing?
Well, you just asked like 4 questions. So, yes, they did write a bunch of songs. Yes, I think we're going to get a ton of new songs this year. No, I don't think, based on what we heard from Dancing in Midair, I don't think we're going to get a lot of January songs. I don't think they translate well to Fish.
That'll drop out a tweezer one night.
Maybe just those lyrics exactly, and not the.
We'll get a Dancing in Midair reprise. Just fucking
It's
droning.
going to be huge.
I actually think I kind of feel like we're gonna get new Fish studio by the end of the year in the fall.
Interesting.
Might even get a fall tour to promote it.
Now, have you heard anything that leads you to this, or you're just feeling like they're in a fertile period? And
Well, they released Sigma Oasis in what 2020, and every 2 years before that they had a studio album, and they typically have been releasing them in the fall with fall tours to support it. And I think maybe there was an extra year in this cycle because of the pandemic and stuff. But yeah, I think timing wise, plus they've been writing, and granted they do like Sci-Fi Soldiers and what was the other one? like Cosmo. They've had a
Right.
lot of like other songs to supplement, but in
But
December
they
and
dropped-
January.
It seems like the frequency, a lot of those. My fear is that like when Ghost of the Forest, all those songs got added in 2021. We got every night at least one, if not two, from 19 even. I guess we got at least one, if not
Yeah.
two. You know,
They do that every release though. Do you remember in
I know, that's what
2016? I got
sucks.
Petriture. I went
Well-
on fall tour in 2016, and every single night of that tour, we got a Petriture. Do you know how
Right.
shitty it is to go? And I don't go on tours a lot, right? Like I'm older now, and I was so excited because it was a short one. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go hit these southeast, and every fucking night we got it. That's what they do, but they also play a lot of other good shit.
So that's why I'm anti them releasing a new album.
Right, but if the album slaps, then it's a good thing, right?
Right.
But what are the odds of that after listening to January?
I think a lot of this for me falls into something I tweeted about the other day about the bracket is,
Oh, do
do you
tell
think
us.
do you ever think that a 2.0 or 3.0 song has a chance against 1.0 songs?
Depends, but yeah, I mean, right now Pebbles, I think, is beating something.
But it's not going to make the final four. Whatever it
Well,
comes up
that's
in-
not what you asked. You said could a 2.0 song beat a 3.0? Right now, Pebbles is handedly beating Back on the Train, which I think is the right outcome.
No, what I meant was, will they ever be a contender to go all the way east to say the final four? Would
No.
you ever end up?
No, I don't think we're gonna get a 2 or 3.0 song in the Sweet 16. I think we could couple into the 32,
Right.
but no, there's way too many good early songs.
Yes, serious Sean. That About to Run matchup was painful because I wanted About to Run to win myself.
Yeah, I love About to Run.
Where are you on that, T? Who did About to Run play against?
Sample in a Jar.
Right.
Definitely About to Run.
It's a powerhouse.
It's great.
I think people that stopped passionately following Fish like we still do are like that are stuck in 1.0 have like a nostalgia with Sample and probably are like still think of About to Run as like that new Fish or not even Fish, and that's where you get the heavy sample voting. But I feel like anyone that has continued to see a bunch of shows and it continues to be growing with the band recognizes how good About to Run is.
Yeah.
I'll answer that question. You want to do some AMA and then we'll do voting? That's fine. We could do that real quick.
Do you eat ass?
About the brackets, Kev. About the brackets.
That was his other tweet.
I have not seen an upset yet in this bracket, actually. And I hate to say it, but after doing it for 4 or 5 years, I feel like the seating has gotten refined so much that I don't anticipate having a lot of upsets. I honestly, I think every single match so far has gone according to the seeding, to the point where 9-8 matches are coming in closer and 1-16 matches are coming in spread. So we'll see, though. There's a lot more volatility when you get into the later rounds. I gotta find that AMA thread again. That's for Kev. I did not tweet about eating ass.
You're muted, Kev. Luckily.
Is he still muted?
He doesn't know. You were muted.
Hey, Kev, you talk about something for a minute. I gotta find this fucking thread.
You were muted. You're still muted.
I think the
God
theory
damn
being
it.
that you can always stick a bidet. You can always get in the shower and clean the one end, but the other end you probably need to get.
We
a brush
should have
up
kept
in
him
there.
muted. What were we thinking?
Where is the bracket? If you go over to Weekend Walk on Twitter, you can find it. And also there's a link. Maybe Llama can run along the bottom as a banner or something. Our great production team.
Here, I'll show you the bracket real quick in case you haven't seen it. So this is the 2023 bracket here, and then these were the matchups that we started with. So we had Reba over Leaves, Reba moves on, Golgi over Waves, Gumbo over Santos, Momo over Haley's, Wikipaw.
Momo over Haley's surprised me. I thought Haley's would have more legs just because it was so old.
Yeah, but
and
Momo's
over
a
Momo.
dance machine. I feel like that carries a lot of weight with this group. Yeah, Gaiuti based AC/DC bag. I feel like bagging Gaiuti and Fee and Mango, like these were all expected, right? Melt, first two, Wilson and ICU. So, but yeah, we'll go through and vote on this. We're a little disorganized tonight. I apologize. We're all over the fucking place. I do the bracket art, Tom. Actually, that's the main reason I do it. So I do this for two reasons I've realized, and I'm considering. I'll be honest, like I'm considering stopping it because it's gotten like. It's almost become like a spoof of itself. You know what I mean? Like it's jumped the shark and like
Too many
everybody's
fucking brackets.
everybody's
knockoffs.
doing it. Yeah, there's a lot, and I don't want to say like I invented brackets. Like that's fucked up, right? Like there's been a million of them, but like in this community with the hashtags and stuff, it was a novelty kind of thing at first, and now there's like the dead bracket, the goose bracket,
I
the
heard they're
twiddle
doing-
bracket, the
I heard they're
wook
doing
bracket.
a live. I heard they're doing a live goose bracket this weekend in New Jersey or New York at the Capitol Theater.
I don't even know if you're joking. That's what I mean, though. It's jump the shark. But anyway, so I've been kind of like soul searching. Like, why the fuck do I even do this? And there's two main reasons. One is the art. I really love, and like I'm an engineer by trade, so I draw with straight lines as a career, like as what I do. And being able to combine like the mathematics and the straight lines with the creative, it just scratches both sides of my brain, if that makes sense. And it's like a very fulfilling type of art form for me. So that's one reason. And the other reason, it's an excuse to engage with the community and talk and have stupid conversations. Like, what other time are you going to discuss the merits of NICU versus cars, trucks, buses? Like, that's just like a random conversation, but it leads to some really fun, discourse. So, yeah, that's that. Where was that? I had that AMA up. We can go through
If you had do you think that what lost the first tube there?
Oh, I
I'm
gotta go
sorry.
back and forth. You can make me even more ADD.
Yes.
God damn.
You were just looking at it.
Yeah.
Do you think if
Set
Set Your
Yourself
Soul
Free.
Free went up against, say, something like that wasn't as much of a powerhouse as First Tube, would it have won? Like if it went up against, I don't know what else you got on there.
Yeah, I
It's
think if it
not-
went against any of the other lower seeds of the matchups, like Sense and Subtle Sounds, it could have probably done better with.
Do you take that into account when seeding it, or do you just seed it and let it fall where it may?
Well, I think that's what seeding is by definition, is
When
its
you
ability to win. I think the songs that have the highest likelihood or probability of winning are the highest seeds.
right, well, I just would think when I think of seeding, you have teams 1 through 16 and 1 versus 16 and 2 versus 15.
Right,
kind
but
of thing.
because they can't play each other in a season and like get a record, it's art. The rating that I have to use in order to assign a seeding is its likelihood of winning, and that's based
Okay.
and that's based on previous years of voting. It's based on discourse on social media. Like I kind of monitor like how people react during shows, right? Like you could tell, like if Set Your Soul Free comes on, Twitter's like such and such reaction. But then when First Tube comes on, everybody else, you know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of what the seating is. Oh, thank goodness. What's up, Benz?
Hey.
Here to save the show. Hi,
That's the
Ben.
most awkward 20 minutes we've ever had.
Oh,
I
stop.
highly doubt that. They're all awkward, guys.
Well, I was gonna say, if you've never seen this show before, go grab yourself a drink, and you might understand it a little better.
Cheers.
Or smoke. Drink or smoke.
Or
one of
smoke,
the two.
right?
Yeah,
We
but
encourage
cheers,
all. So we were
Okay.
just about to hit these AMA real quick,
guys. Sweet.
and then go. Then we're gonna play a little bit. All right, this first one was from J Bale. Was how did Leaves squeeze in a best song bracket? I'll be honest. I am partial Leaves. I think it has some Bowie qualities, not like the song Bowie, but like the artist
But
Bowie.
what didn't make it on, like, Blaze On didn't make it, but Leaves made it?
Well, yeah.
That's fine. I think
Valid.
that's fine. That's
And it also came in at, all right, so how many songs were there? There was 16 times 8. There was 128 songs, and Leaves was ranked 128. You know what I mean? So it's not
Above
like
Blaze On.
How many
above
how
Blaze
many
On.
songs are there total? Like,
I started with
380, maybe?
yeah, I started with 380, but that original list included covers, so I cut them out, and it probably got me close to like 320 or 300. But
Wow.
there's like about 300 in their catalog of original songs, and that's not even comprehensive now because
Right.
like and the other thing which is weird too is the side project songs that are on such heavy rotation, and I was getting shit for that too. Like aren't About to Run is a Ghost of the Forest song, and like that shouldn't be in the bracket. I was like, well, so is Ruby Waves, and once you put it in that perspective, people like fuck, especially Midwesterners,
Right.
they love
Well, you
Ruby
lose
Waves.
first two. You lose Gotta Jaboo first
And
two.
first
they're
two,
Trey
right?
songs.
They were Trey songs, so there is a little bit of nuance to it, but
Wait, Gotta Jaboo is a tab song?
pretty much everything on Farmhouse.
Yeah, it was originally a tab song.
Was
Yep.
originally a tab song.
I mean, Farmhouse definitely makes sense as a tab song. I just didn't know that about Jaboo.
If you listen to like some of those early April '99 bootlegs of just the tab trio, Sand, Gotta Jaboo, First Tube all appeared first there.
Interesting.
Yeah, but then they all ended up on whatever that album was. Like First Tube got nominated for Instrumental Rock Grammy of the Year.
Sweet.
Yeah, they didn't win.
Fucking
Grammy.
Oh, this is one we
what
could
did
all
win,
do.
I think Yin Yang Mouth Steam or something like that one, or maybe Jethro Tull. Didn't they beat
Right.
Metallica one year for the heavy metal?
rock
thing?
and heavy metal. That's all right.
This is a fun one we could talk about in honor of Women's Day. Rate. I'm not gonna rate, but it's so. Donkey was saying rate the PHISH songs with female names. I'll say who's your favorite female character from a PHISH song because that's a little more concise.
The witch that appears in Cavern and Axilla that keeps
Ooh,
popping up. I like her.
that's a good answer.
It's a heady answer.
I think my favorite character women is Tila.
Yeah.
She was a spy, man.
Exactly. She was
Benz, what do you think?
two-timer.
For me, I think it's Esther. I just
Yeah.
like
That's just creepy as shit, though. I mean,
Yeah,
the
but
music's
that's
creepy
kinda
as shit.
it.
I am a big Millie Grace fan. I mean, cutting
Mhm.
bitches and you know,
Mhm.
standing up for her man. I think that's pretty dope.
Wait, I'm
Uh,
changing my answer. I like the she who's silent in the morning.
God, that's all you can ask for.
I like the Jennifer, yeah, man. And Susie's a great one.
And there's
I
Monica.
wonder,
Monica's cool.
I wonder if the woman
Thanks.
who's silent in the morning is the same woman that the night speaks to.
Maybe.
Is that the one who leaves and John has to lay lengthwise or diagonal?
Right? I don't know.
I was gonna suggest that, but then I was like, I actually don't think they ever assign a gender to that. It could
Yeah.
that's goes both.
Well,
Although in my
guys
mind, I
sing
always
it.
felt like it was Fish singing it, but I don't know if that's the true like who that's
Did
perspective.
any
that's from.
any album get all the songs on the album on the bracket? Maybe
Ooh.
Lawn Boy, I guess. Or
Man,
if
I
you're-
should have run that kind of analysis. I'd imagine Junta's on there,
Well,
right?
Probably.
Probably all of Lawn
Contact?
Boy.
Did Contact make it?
No, Contact
No.
didn't. It just
And
missed
no
it.
Junta. Junta.
Right. Junta. And so that's another consideration too, is like, do you just go with like the 1.0, like the overall epic history of it, or do you keep it fresh with what's hot right now, right? Because there were a lot of songs that were really special and meaningful earlier on that have not really held up. And there's a lot of new songs that would never make it in if you just strictly kept it
Right.
as, you know.
I mean, you could easily do a 1.0 and a 3.0 bracket. No offense, 2.0ers. I just think we'll skip that era. Well, I just don't think there's enough songs in the 2.0 to do a whole bracket on them.
We did
Well,
a
you
pretty
could-
dope 2.0 jam bracket, though. That was
Mhm.
fun.
You might be able to do a 16 bracket with 2.0.
That's true, maybe. A smaller one.
I think you'd have to put 2 and 3.0 together. Honestly, they did. I think they probably wrote over half their material before 2000.
No way, man.
You don't think so?
See, the thing is, they wrote more than half their good material. But if you look at it, you have Round Room, Undermined, Joy, fucking Fuego. I'm going out of order. Big Boat. I missed one, right? And then you have Cosvat Vox, Sci-Fi Soldier, Ghost of the Forest. I mean,
Go so far as a
But-
Trey Anastasio album.
well, I consider when half the band is there. Oh no, I can't do that now because of fucking January. Benz, did you hear the January song? that
No?
train wreck of a fucking song. Oh my god, it's atrocious.
Dancing in midair. It's like the continuation of Turtle in the Clouds or the final
No,
hurrah or whatever.
don't be mean to Turtle in the Clouds like that.
Is this from that new Trey Page album that
Yeah.
I've paid zero attention to? Gotcha. Sorry, I'm
Smart.
more focused on the Miley release that day than on Page and Trey.
As you
That is
should be.
probably the smartest decision you've ever made. All right, you guys want to vote or talk a little bit about?
Well, I was going to ask you, what matchups are you looking forward to that we haven't gotten through yet?
I mean, I'm looking forward to see how the first round shakes out, but what I'm really interested in seeing is how the final four falls, because every year Reba has very high stakes, and every year she starts to falter around the Sweet 16.
She's like
And-
Gonzaga.
And I think especially this year, there's a lot of sneaky good songs at the top. You know, Fluffhead is right there. Antelope is right there. Shit.
Who's Reba going to end up playing in the 8?
Jin could be there. I don't know. I don't know how.
We'll
Yeah,
have to see
actually,
how
I
it
do
shakes
know
out.
that. Antelope.
It's going to end up playing Antelope. That's fuck you for that.
Oh, wow.
Just so you know now, I'm going
Yeah.
to give you a...
See, that's going to be a tough matchup. That's why Reba consistently doesn't win the bracket.
Yeah. Right. And then even
Melt deserves to go all the way.
How
yeah,
many times does
Melt
Reba
could.
have to lose before we deem it the worst best song?
I don't know. It's how long we want to punish Skoy, ultimately.
Fair
is
enough.
What it works out to, so... Because
Yeah.
it is rigged, like we said earlier. Somebody tweeted that the other day, and I was laughing about it.
How would you go about rigging? Like
I don't know.
this?
They said Reba losing to Ghost last year proved that it was rigged. I was like,
Hold on, I'm gonna
I
pull
mean,
up.
if it
the
were rigged,
seeds
it would
real
have
quick.
to start with the seeding, and that just seems like way too much thinking to really do that.
we're walks. We're
So
lucky
here-
we got the bracket out.
Here are the top 8 seeds based on, and this isn't just my personal opinion. There's a lot of things that contribute into this. Reba is the 1 seed, and then Fluff, Jin, Antelope. So that rounds out the 4, and then Lizards, Mike's Song, Divided Sky, and Wikipaw round out the 8. Any one of those, I think, depending on how the tide flows with Twitter, I think could win. You know what I mean? We're past the Tweezer and EM and the Ghost. Like now we're into the area where I think any one of these could. And then even in the 16, I think you have Gaiudi and Chalk Dust and Punch and Curtin,
Gaiudi?
Slave, Down with Disease, David Bowie, and Melt. Oh, I did that
Gaiudi?
backwards. It's Melt, Bowie, Disease, Slave, Curtin, Punch, Chalk Dust. And Gaiudi rounds out at 16.
You really think Gaiudi is a top 16 song of all the songs left? That boggles my mind. I've never seen Gaiudi as that. I've never placed it that high.
It does really well on the previous years, but there has been a couple of really turd Gaiudis this year, so maybe my adjustments are off. But it does historically do really well.
It's because it's a great song from back then. I mean, it's hard. He doesn't play it like that anymore. Rarely without a flub too, but it's not the same song. I mean, it's still, I love it. It's still one of my favorite songs, but it's just definitely not the same. But I definitely think it's in the top 16. Kev, you're crazy if you don't think that. Well, you think it's
with everything else that's out there, I would stick even like a Blaze One above that. Or something.
you would, but that's what where's the bad takes banner, Llama? Get that thing going across there.
No shit.
What happened to that link, Llama, so people can find the bracket online?
Just go to Twitter.
Llama's watching.
Just giving me the finger back there. I can see
Llama streaming Goose, and he's like, "Fuck you guys." Yeah, in the just missed. So one of the other questions that Jason asked was what songs missed out, didn't make it in, and that list is a painful list. But Blaze On, 7 Below, Joy, Your Pet Cat, My Soul, Life Boy, Lawn Boy, Buried Alive.
Wait, My Soul isn't a PHISH original. That's a cover. So
yeah, that's Clifton Chenier.
Anyway.
Oh,
it's a
good thing it didn't make it.
But I do love it. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it's a great song.
When you're looking at 320 songs, things slip through. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a fine
Things
line
slip
too
through,
between
so,
like what you're not. What's a cover and what's a non-cover.
When they first broke out Circus Comes to Town, it didn't even dawn on me it was a Los Lobos tune, and I had the album that it was on. The Just Another Band from East LA, and I never put it together till like a year later, and I was like, oh, it's that Los Lobos song.
And that's a fantastic song. I love it when I hear that one. I know people use that as a bathroom break.
I love
but
it.
No, I
It's so
stand
good.
there and cry the whole time. It's fine.
Right. The crossing your name out on the tree, that's such a beautiful lyric.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Anyway, we digress.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. Do you think that do you have any sci-fi soldier songs make it?
Oh yeah, the Howling made it.
See, now, couldn't one argue that
Overplays one.
Sci-Fi Soldier and Cascade Vox are not Fish songs?
One could, and one would be ignored, but
Thank
Well,
you.
I think, yeah, Cosmo could argue no, but I think sci-fi kind of argues yes, because isn't that just future?
Fish.
Future Fish? Right.
That's what it
From
looked
night.
like. I couldn't see through all the fire,
The smoke and haze
the
and
smoke and the
COVID.
humidity,
I think
and the COVID.
I think the Howling's a good example of like where I think I might have artificially inflated it a little bit because
Well, yeah, because
it's
of
hot right now, and I want to see how it does.
and because of the foodie kit.
And the footy kit, which I shouldn't even plug right now because the order's already out, but can't
It's
wait
all
to get
about
those.
cross marketing.
Yeah.
That's right. If you missed out,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Fish is gonna play Halloween outside of Vegas.
I
And-
certainly hope not.
Yeah, I don't see him not playing Vegas. Although everyone that went to Vegas last year was like, this place is a complete shithole. Why they keep playing there?
Who's
But I don't
that?
think it's Vegas. It's MGM, I think.
I think
I was
Halloween-
gonna say, but they can play T-Mobile and now, of course, the Sphere. But like, why they went? It must have been a like sign thing with MGM or whatever. But man, that place is just rough.
I think Halloween's gone the way of the festival. You're never going to see another Halloween.
No,
I
you're definitely gonna see another Halloween.
Yeah, that's
Mark, somebody timestamp.
Yeah, we're gonna clip it, and when they announce Halloween, we're gonna play it over and over again.
yeah, really.
You are doubling down on your shitty takes
That's-
today. Oh my
That's our
god.
promo.
Just because Kev doesn't want to go to one again doesn't mean there shouldn't be one again.
Right.
Exactly.
I will
Trust me,
go if
does
it's
not
air
want to go to
conditioned.
Vegas ever again.
I'll go if it's air conditioned
How
wherever
can you
they
say it's
play
gone
it.
the way of festivals? There hasn't been a festival since Curveball got canceled. There's been like 4 Halloweens in that time. And they've upped it each time. I mean, maybe the covers, if you had said they're the covering album,
Yeah, I don't think
maybe
those-
that's done. Maybe. But the idea of them never playing on Halloween again, that's like me saying, I don't think Fish wants to do New Year's anymore.
They passed the torch to Goose. for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh God.
I
do
don't like
wish
when you
they-
take a nap. You wake up all feisty with terrible takes.
Go back to
I do
sleep.
Go
wish
back
they
to-
would do a album cover again though. Those were so fun. That was like, and that's kind of Halloween, like dress up in another's clothes, like play an album. Like that was so fun. I miss that. Like,
I get it. I mean, 21 was my first Fish Halloween, so I never saw them do like a traditional cover. But you know, the thing is Fish really popularized that. Like, I don't think other bands were doing that until Fish started doing it, and now, you know, Fish is the trendsetter. They're not the follower.
That's a lot of fucking work too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to do a cover, but to cover an entire album, that like you can't pick what song works well with your band. If you're doing, you have to do every single song in order, and I think that, and then a lot of them don't make the rotation, so you put all that effort in for one night. I mean,
learning
they
that
can
one
do
song.
it, but
And then you pick a double album, like the White Album that has 9,000 songs on it.
But the
Even
white, but all the
Exile.
songs on the White Album are like 2.5 minutes, if that.
yeah, right.
But they're so also different. You go from like
Yeah, for sure.
Piggies to Rocky Raccoon to
I mean, I'm sure there's albums out there that they could just cover by making it up, right? Like a certain pop albums that like they would just because it's like 145, 15, 151, and like you know they
Whatever
sing
that
would
means.
sound bad, but that's not the kind of albums they pick though. They pick albums that anyone would have a hard time
But
covering.
what if you showed up at a Halloween
What
at,
if we-
like what if you show up at a costume party and people are like, "Who are you?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm myself from the future as a comic book character." You know, people are like, "That is the lamest costume ever." What are you?
Or the
doing?"
greatest.
I was gonna.
Or the greatest, depending on what party you're at, Kevin.
Did you ever go
Right.
to costume parties? Because I'm pretty like the vast majority of people at the custom parties I went to would just find stupid shit around and come up with a really dumb excuse. You know what I mean? Like, well, some people would really get into it, but a lot of people would just like put something on their head and be like, "Oh, I'm a traffic cone."
What if they played Fish songs, but in the style of another artist as a costume?
There you
That'd be
go.
fun.
You just reminded me of something that's not what you just said, so I apologize for diverting, but I think it would be the most brilliant idea. We were watching the stream the other day, and the second set was about to start, but the stream like glitched and started the show over. And we were all of us legit as hell confused why they were starting the second set with the same song as the
It was
first
dinner
set.
in a movie. They played dinner in a movie. It
Right,
was
and
the
we're like,
first set,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Why are they playing this? And I think that would be funny as hell if they came out and did the same set twice. And just like anyone that was spun out or on a headful would be so confused.
That would be so confusing. And
Right, but they
hilarious.
change the jams. It gives you an
I was gonna say,
opportunity to
yeah,
get two
play it
versions of
differently.
each song. I think that would be brilliant.
I had posed the question once. It was something along the lines of like, has Fish ever played two shows with the same set list? Not in the same exact order, but like the same songs, maybe in a different order, but no additional songs, no subtracted, like same set list, just remixed.
Did anybody answer? Was someone able to figure that out?
I think Zizix answered and
course.
said not that he has found or can find or is aware of or
I
something like
would
that.
think. I would think if you
There'd
look.
be a lot of cross-referencing and like that would be kind of a tough one to have to search. I
If
think.
anyone could do it, he could though.
If
He's
you-
Or an AI system could do it these
Yeah,
days.
That's
creepy.
for
If you look at
sure.
like 86, 87 set lists, maybe even into 88, I bet it's 70% from night to night.
Yeah, but
I
they
think
always have weird covers and shit. Especially back then,
Right.
they were covering all sorts of stupid, crazy shit.
I mean, because that's what I thought too. It would be like sometime between when they formed, whatever, 84 or whatever, and 90, like when they were still a young band, it would probably be then. But I think through a lot of those years, aren't we missing a lot of set lists? So, like, if it does exist, that might not have been captured.
yeah.
Yep.
But I think those were also the years where they were really particular about what songs they're playing. And I don't think he would like I feel like Trey especially would make an effort back in those days not to have the same set list. Right? Like I don't know.
Dude, I saw
Speculation.
I saw Landlady open 3 shows 3 nights in a row. They
That
used to
would
play
be
like the same songs. If you look at those set lists, a lot of the songs fall in the same place night to night
Yeah.
because it's their new toy. Trey's
Well,
like,
they
check
used
it out,
to-
Landlady.
Like, remember they used to like have rules about how they played. Like, you know, it was always mics and then whatever, it's ice or hydrogen. I'm hydrogen,
yeah.
and then Weekapog. Like, they used to have these things that were very predictable that almost felt like rules that they did all the time. And
They got that from the dead.
right. And
fuckers.
3.0, or maybe it was 4.0, whatever, like blew that out of the water where they don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, they also used to cover a lot more Little Feed back in those early days, which was cool.
They covered a lot more everything back in
Yeah.
the early days.
Fair enough. They didn't have 380 songs.
Exactly, and like
7.
their own like crap to have to play all the time.
I thought Time Loves a Hero was going to appear in Mexico. I don't know why.
Can you guys imagine though, like something you did at 18 having to play or do regularly in your 50s? Like that's the thing that blows my mind. Like if you wrote a poem, Kevin, when you were 18, and then you had to recite it multiple nights a year in front of different audiences until you're like pushing 60.
I don't
Man,
think
I
Kev
always-
can remember when he was 18. I don't know if he can remember when he was 50.
I always think of 2 things that came to mind with that. One is Mick Jagger having to do Satisfaction every night of his life since 1965. And then the other thing is I talked to this guy named Walter Silas Hamaris, who was with a band called the Silos in the 80s that were like like Wilco took a lot of their shtick and became Wilco. But he had this album called Cuba that was pretty popular in certain circles back then. He was talking about how he never wanted to play it. He only wanted to play his new stuff. But as he got older, he realized he owed it to his fans to play some of this stuff. They were paying their $20 to come see him, hoping to hear one of those songs. So
I get it. You do it for the fans. Like you do a lot of things for your fans, I think. But like, I don't know. For me personally, I have a hard time imagining doing something I did performing something I performed at 18 well into my 50s, it's like there'd be a certain point where I'm just like, listen, fuck this. And I'm sure Trey and Fish did go through that. I mean, shit, they broke up twice.
Yeah.
So
I think though the difference is that was the plan. Right. Like I remember talking to Tom about this and how Trey used to talk about when he was in high school and college, he visualized himself on stage in front of an arena playing the songs he was writing then. So like when I was 18, and I'm assuming when you guys were 18, we were kind of fuck ups doing stupid shit with no thought of the future, let alone when we were 50. But I feel like, and I don't know if that's like that chicken or the egg, like if that's what caused it, or if it's because he was so exceptional that allowed him to think like that. But when he was writing and doing this stuff, I feel like that was always the intention for Trey. You know,
Sean just put one of my favorite Joni Mitchell quotes in the chat, which she says on what is it, Miles of Isles or something like that. She says it between one song. She says, like, this is what's so weird about being this kind of artist instead of a visual artist is like, imagine someone yelling at Van Gogh, paint Starry Night again, man. I mean, that is interesting, though, that Trey had that vision in mind. But I still think we've all done a lot of things we thought were cool when we were 18, 19, 20, and then look back on it and you're like, man, that was stupid. Or I can't believe I thought that, or I had that point of view, or whatever. And like,
I legitimately can't remember anything I did at that age, though.
Yeah,
Kev,
right.
I think
for that, right? But these guys are like forced to do it multiple times a year.
Kev, are you echoing? Is it?
I don't hear an echo at all.
I heard it, but it went away.
Yeah, I think it was coming through your speakers. That's all right. Professional.
You know the guy from Flock of Seagulls. He bitches that he has to play Iran every night when he goes out and tours. And I'm like, dude, why would anybody be walking into that club to see you if they didn't know you were going to play Iran?
And you know, there's some guy, some poor guy or girl who's washing the toilet at that club saying like, fuck you, sing your stupid Seagull song.
100%.
Like, oh, you have to sing a song. I'm so sorry.
That's like the thing we have to weigh when people get all pissed off about getting another what is it, Sigma Oasis again or Soul Planet again. Is like, do you want Fish to turn into a nostalgia act? No? Okay, let's let them play new songs. Even if it's dad rock, whatever. Trey has obviously reached
I love
like
Sigma
a different
Oasis. I think it slaps. I do want to actually play through some of this just because we said we would, and we're in the last 15 minutes, and I'm really curious how you guys are going to vote. Is that all right?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do that real quick. Why don't we play through this side here? Because this is the side coming up. This has already been voted on. We'll just do a little round one action and see who comes out of this side.
Yeah, you got to get up close so I can read that shit.
I do love this bracket. It's beautiful. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Fly Famous Mockingbird versus Walls of the Cave. Just shout it out.
I'm going to go Walls of the Cave just because it's more of a song. Famous Mockingbird is like Forbin's reprise almost.
I agree. Walls of the Cave. As far as,
Benz, are you going to just go with it since...
I like Walls of the Cave, so yeah, I'm going to agree.
All right. Divided Sky versus Heavy Things.
Oh, fuck you.
Divided Sky.
Heavy Things, obviously.
See, that's I'm not going to go through and change it, but that's one of the weird things about doing the isometric thing is like you have to change the angle of the fonts.
Yeah.
It's like a huge pain in the ass. I'm not going to do that tonight, though. My first Camel Walk.
My friend.
Mife.
Yeah.
Camel Walk.
Come
on,
Kev.
guys.
Shut up, Kev.
Worth some love. I love Camel Walk. I was so excited when they started playing Camel Walk.
I do love Camel Walk, but I also love when T's like, shut up, Kev.
Kevin just always goes the opposite direction. Just like whether it's his real opinion or not, he's just gonna be different.
So I'm gonna pull a Kev here. I would actually legitimately vote Thread over Tube. I don't think Thread is going to beat Tube. I think Tube is the front runner in this matchup, but I really like Thread.
I'm over Tube. I've heard just Tube has been so overplayed as of lately. Like over
And
the
not
last.
long enough. You've heard so many 8-minute tubes, you don't even know what to do with yourself.
Like,
It's tube for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with Benz on this.
I mean, I think that's fine. All right, let's do this. Let's do this matchup.
It's wrong, but it's fine.
Walls of the Cave versus Divided Sky.
Divided Sky.
Divided Sky.
Yeah, it's gonna be Divided Sky.
All right, and then My Friend versus Tube. My friend.
I'm
my
going
friend.
Tube.
I like My Friend.
Ben, you're the tiebreaker.
My friend.
Don't.
I'm with
And
you.
this is funny because no, it isn't. Never mind.
All right, Divided. This is Divided Sky versus My Friend. My friend.
Divided Sky.
Ooh, Divided Sky.
I guess
All
Divided
right.
Sky.
Be different,
I
Kev. It's okay.
I hate it, but
That's
this is
such
what
a
it is.
depressing
I
bracket.
fucking love
right?
Divided Sky. All right.
Same. No, I love Divided Sky. I mean, I hate the mashup that we're picking between.
I know it is brutal. Mike Vanoia told me the first year I did it, he's like, every time you put a poll up, I sit in my bathroom, I look at it, and I'm deciding who to murder. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, that's how I think of it. I'm taking songs out that I'll never hear again in my life. I was like, whoa, that is like the headiest, most dramatic. He's like, but that's so like the way to do it is like if you had to choose one of these songs to be the song that the only song you could listen to, and the other one you'll never hear again. And he's like, it's dramatic. I was like, well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't think of it that way.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't need to Sophie's choice it. He's choosing to do that. Jeez.
Well,
All right.
We know T's voting Susie, so
Susie for sure.
I'm with Susie.
I'm a McGruff person. I can't believe you guys.
I was kind
I
of
was
McGruff
joking.
too, but
You don't get a vote, and they voted Susie, so Susie
Right.
goes on.
Susie.
all right, Fluff versus Meat. This is a shitty matchup for Meat. I
It
love
is
Meat.
shitty. I have to say
Yes.
though, I think I would rather hear Meat. Like Fluffhead is played way more frequently.
I'm
now.
I'm gonna go with Ben's here and put Meat ahead of Fluff.
I don't care.
Not fair.
I'm voting.
Yeah, I don't care either. I would.
I
No,
get
tie
so
break
Fluffhead
that
was
shit with
the bracket
Fluffhead.
before.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it's rigged. Thank you.
This is a thought experiment. Well, all right. Well, these guys all have my back. So
I mean, I get where they're coming from, but look at this. Fluff hasn't won a bracket before, right? That's why it's in here.
Right.
So
it's kind of a loser. I mean, it's
another one that's the best of the worst.
If I
You
keep doing
notice
this-
how
We're
Tim's
the
trying to
best.
affect our voting by putting his cursor on the song he wants to go before
Yeah,
we
he
even
is.
say anything.
Oh man, you like my crosshairs, by the way? I do these in CAD, and I have this really dope crosshair.
I see
Anyway.
that.
All
I'm
right.
going to put Limb by Limb, even though I would really think Undermine deserves better than that.
They're
I like
kind of
Undermine.
similar in some
Mm,
weird
exactly.
way.
I think this is a 9-8.
But I would go limb by limb.
No, Undermine's so much better.
Wait, who said?
We're
They said
all
Limb
in
by
agreement with Limb by Limb,
Except for
begrudgingly.
D.
I'm trying to vote like the common man does on some of these.
You are the common man.
Yeah.
Kev, just vote how you would vote.
No, because then I would, and then you tell me you vote against everything that's.
Yeah.
Undermine's
saying-
got
Stan.
that fun little like drum bit in it and stuff. Undermine's such a better song.
I do
Stan
like
for
Underman.
sure.
I probably would have gone Undermine on my personal bracket, but oh, you
Saying,
damn snaps! People are like, "Oh, what are you
Snapped.
talking about?" That's when it like, nah. Susie versus Fluff.
Fluff.
Well,
yeah, it's gonna be Fluff Sand there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Limb by limb.
All right,
Even though Sand is a cover because it's a Trey song, so
And then
No.
Fluffhead would win between Fluff and Sand.
yeah.
Love.
yeah, Fluffhead's gonna go on. There's no
This is-
Fluff will be in the
Fluffhead's gonna end
final
up in the
four.
final four. So.
we are flying through this. I don't know if it's good content or not, but I'm having fun.
Oh, it's great
Well, it's
content.
gonna be. Are you gonna save this? Because I wonder how right we'll be.
Yeah, we should come back on Live after
Yeah.
the
You
bracket.
can watch it. You
Take
can
a
go back and watch
snapshot
it.
of it so you can keep it and then
All
see
right.
if he's, throwing
Yeah,
it or not.
Let's keep going. I'll go over here. Billy Breeze versus Son of a Mule.
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 Billy Breeze.
I was Billy Breeze too, Llama.
Mule. The best Mike song.
What about Team Chat? What do they think?
Yeah, what does Team Chat say?
I'm gonna go Mule.
Doesn't
It says the
matter.
team tonight, so
Aw.
I guess that means Mule, huh?
Llama got it.
Yes. Billy Breeze is the best studio song they ever did. Their best in studio performance. Billy Breeze.
When I think of this, I don't think which song could I, never hear again. I think which would I rather hear at a show.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's kind of
Mama,
usually how I
stop
look
putting
at
the
it,
comments
too.
up for a second.
So Billy Breeze.
We're gonna play Kev in the.
Dick.
Well, no, but
What a
like
dick.
people don't. If we're gonna cover people, we shouldn't be covering Benz. I mean, come on.
Oh, thanks.
All
We
right.
need to be on the other side of the screen. So
Wait,
that
can we
know
do
what it's
that?
covered.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
We need
David
to
Bowie.
listen to StreamYard rules and regulations.
David Bowie.
Yeah. David Bowie.
Yeah, Bowie. For
David
sure.
Bowie.
I
David
don't know.
Bowie.
I really like Sigma.
Wait, where are we?
guys.
Oh, here.
Yeah, there we are.
It's definitely not Smegma Oasis.
So
you don't
I
like Sigma
was told
Oasis?
this summer, and I believe this to be true, that foam is a sex song.
Oh, about like contraceptives?
It just keeps getting thicker and it's getting harder.
I thought maybe you meant like the whatever that foam is you use with the diaphragm.
Foam.
Spermicide?
Yeah.
You just really dated yourself.
Oh,
Kev,
this is
'cause
Kev's sex ed
I
class.
don't think anyone my age has used a sponge or spermicide, and more power to them.
Sponge-worthy.
Yeah.
Are you sponge-worthy? That was
Are you
one of the best
sponge-worthy?
films ever.
Yes.
So does foam win then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
begrudgingly.
And then Llama, Brian, and Robert. It has to be Llama, right?
Yeah.
Brian and Robert.
And then it's got to be Mule against Llama in the battle of the animals.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's Bowie.
way.
Bowie is going to beat
No,
Mule.
it's gonna be Bowie and Llama.
Bowie's going to spank Mule. It's a spank Mule.
Llama all the way.
Yeah, Llama's beat foam.
Does Llama beat Bowie?
Deep well. See, what'd you think about the lyrics of Foam? Like you'll agree.
All right, let's take a pause here because I want the chat to have a chance to vote on Bowie versus Llama because I think this is maybe a tricky one. What do you
Our
guys?
Is it a
producer
regular
should
llama
just
or
have
is it a slow llama?
I
Yeah.
think it has to consider both. But you could also say, is it like 90s Bowie with like just the perfect execution and epic climax, or is it like 3.4.0 Bowie, which kind of like, it's okay.
Apparently, Foam is the song with the epic climax.
Oh.
And if
man.
Bowie wins, is that a subtle endorsement of UB40?
Yes, it is.
Wow, everybody's saying Llama. I was kind of leaning towards Bowie, but really, there's a lot of
Oh,
lot
come
of
on. They're all
Llama
There were a
trolling.
lot of Bowies right before that too.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
a
were
ton of
there?
Bowies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there were a ton of. Oh wow,
It
there were.
honestly looks like very close to a tie.
All right, so then let's go back to our panel. Kev's like Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc.
Hey, Wook Plus can't vote, not multiple times at least.
Wait,
One of
who
them's
did
posting
that?
to Facebook. One of them is posting to Facebook.
All right, T, what did you say?
I mean, I really want to vote Llama. I mean, but it's Bowie. But I really want to vote Llama, but it's Bowie.
Benz, what do you think?
It's Bowie for me.
Okay, I think it's Bowie too. Sorry, Kev.
Well, you know where I am on that.
I don't. Where are you on that?
Bowie is one of my top 5 Fish songs. I don't care if they butcher it. I'll take a
All
Bowie
right.
over.
Is it ahead or below Blaze On for you?
It's ahead of Blaze On.
I never
Okay.
knew Kev had such an affinity for
I
Blaze
didn't
On.
either.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best Tole lyrics. The make 3 turns and still make a right lyric, and
Blah, blah,
you
blah,
know, I
blah.
screw up one. If I screw up once, I do it 2 more times. That's like my mantra. It's my life story,
It's 3 more times, right?
or whatever it is. Ben knows what I'm talking.
You did a
about.
U-turn,
I
man.
screw up a lot, so yeah.
You're just going in the wrong direction. It makes sense. All right, let's keep going. Character 0 of Ruby Waves.
I know it's
0.
unpopular, but I go with Character 0. I love that song.
0.
Against Ruby Waves, definitely.
Yeah,
Cavern Way.
Cavern.
Cavern.
Yeah, Cavern. They do the little dance, like the little dance.
It should be Way. You guys are terrible at this. No, it's you, right. Chalk Dust Mercury.
Talk that's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how Mercury made it in this bracket. Whoever made this thing's an asshole.
Over
Yeah,
Blaze
instead of
On.
Blaze On, Mercury's in there.
I knew it was coming.
Harpua versus Poor Heart. That's hard.
I'm
It is
poor
tricky.
heart.
Yeah.
Harpua.
I
Come on.
would go with Poor Heart. I find some of the Trey story times a little tedious.
Look at that.
I don't agree, but I'm trying to be impartial. All right, character versus Chalk Dust.
Chalk Dust.
Cavern versus Poor Heart.
Cavern.
Nice. That's what I like. I like this symbiosis. Cavern versus Chalk Dust.
Bye, Cavern. We
Yeah.
love you.
Chalk Dust.
I mean, Chalk Dust just has too much of a pedigree. Cavern is what it is.
Because those are both on the same album.
Thank you, Tom.
I've got way more bad takes that I can fit into shorter time frame. Don't worry.
We are condensing a month worth of decisions and contemplation into like 20 minutes. So
now what? We have Fluffhead versus Chalk Dust?
Yeah.
That is hot. I'm going with Chalk Dust.
Check it in on this.
Fluffhead.
What do you think?
Butthead.
Buddy.
I like Chalk Dust.
Yes. Chalk Dust.
I might have to pull executive wook privilege again.
Why? Because you have Fluff Plus? I mean, Fluff winning?
Fluff running
Plus.
away in the chat. Okay, Sean.
Yes, Kyle.
put Fluff
Calico.
all over it.
Steven.
Fluff.
Yeah. And Llama. Yeah, it's Fluff.
Everybody knows.
Come on. Come on. Oh, I gotta change this color. Shit. What are we gonna make this color? Make it like pink. You want like a hot pink?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of hard to read, but
Whatever.
that's all right. Where were we? All right,
Change all of them somehow.
Bowie versus Divided Sky.
Divided Sky.
Bowie.
Kev, fucking, you're blocking yourself. Wait, Bowie.
Like the echo.
Wait, did you guys say Bowie?
Yes. Well.
No,
yeah.
I said Divided Sky.
Yeah, Kev, what do you think? Stop fucking around, Kev.
Oh,
Participate.
I'm going Bowie.
It's Kev's top 4 song.
Top 5.
Llama, can you get Kevin under control? God damn.
What a job.
All right, we'll put Bowie just because this doesn't matter.
Fine.
All right, Bowie versus Fluffhead.
Well, in that instance, I would pick Bowie over Fluffhead, but that's just me.
Oh, I'm going. Oh man, see, I think Bowie can beat Fluffhead in that matchup. I really do.
I can't believe how bad you guys are at this.
I think you're wrong as fuck, Kev.
Is Fluffhead really that? I mean, I don't. It never has been one of the top even 20 songs of Fish for.
Yeah, but
Oh, man.
Oh, Llama's coming in big. No, I mean anyone that was at Hampton in 09. And I don't know, man. Fluffhead is just such a important song for the band and its history, and it's one of the best compositions they have.
Yeah, they're both great, but it's Fluffhead's best.
It's
Fluffhead will
Fluffhead.
win. Fluffhead should win.
Come on.
I mean, Fluff and Yem are like the two most iconic songs Fish has.
And Tweezer. I mean, Tweezer's like.
I mean,
Tweezer's a jam vehicle, but
yeah. But I don't
composition-wise.
know. Like I said, when I think of what I'd rather hear more, I would rather hear a Bowie than a Fluffhead.
Yeah, 100%. And if I was writing a dream set list, I would rather have a Fluff than a Bowie, though.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if I
no
agree with you or
way. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
What?
Oh, God. You are so bad at this.
We're all bad at this. That's why we're here.
I've lost control. The ship is sinking.
I like it with hot pink, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I do too. We don't really have time to go through the rest. You want to just leave it
Like
there?
and subscribe.
Let's leave it there. We should leave a little something to the imagination for when, people actually vote.
That was fun though. I kind of really like
That was not fun. That was not fun at all because you put your thumb. You have this big thumb and you take it right on the scale.
Where did I put my thumb on this scale? What did I fuck?
A couple times you were just like, nah. Sorry.
All right, well let's correct it. Tell me, I'll undo it. No, yes, for historical record, tell me where I went wrong.
I will
Not adding Blaze on.
Yeah, it all starts at the beginning.
I will watch back later because you can watch back, and if you watch back, you can leave a comment.
You can.
I do think
And a
it would be
super thanks.
interesting if people had to answer that on a speed round versus having, what the polls close in 24 hours. So you basically have 24 hours to think about it. But like if you were doing this in a speed round, like against someone, you had to answer quickly. Like then I wonder what answers would be.
I also find this experiment interesting because we're saying it out loud on international television, whereas when you're voting on Twitter, you kind of it's private, like nobody can tell what you voted for, right? So it's like Kev doesn't care. He shares terrible takes regardless. He's just like, fuck it, this is what I think. But I feel like a lot of people like are like got to go with the cool answer, or like what's expected, when it's out loud, and I don't know.
Or
It's
troll it
interesting.
and just go the other way.
Or troll.
Yeah,
There's a
right.
6% troll margin every year, so you can
Fair enough.
take out 6%. That's it, right? We did everything. Got some credits in here. Thanks, Benz, for showing up. I love you.
Thanks, Ben.
T, Kev, you guys are awesome. Kev, I'm sorry your takes are so bad. We'll work on that. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next
That
time.
was fun.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Lucky Llama, and Lope came through. Over 80%, beating What's the Use at 110. Straight bank. I got the locks for tonight, too. Tonight, we have a surprising upset, as Blaze On is going to beat the 1.0 song